Elli. How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing okay. Should I take my shoes off or?
It's up to you.
Okay, well, I see you have some shoes up here already, so I will take my shoes off so they can get acquainted with the rest of the gang.
Okay, great. I didn't want to be rude, but I actually prefer when guests take off their shoes.
I mean, I figured, who doesn't prefer that?
I don't know. I just remember watching all those shows on Nickelodeon growing up, and the characters would just walk on the carpet with their sneakers on and everything.
Yes, that bothered me so much as a kid. Like, they would get home from doing some weird shit like indentured servitude or whatever, and they would just prance around the clean carpet in bed with their dirty shoes.
Yeah, exactly. I made some coffee. Do you want any?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, feel free to take a seat ahead. How do you want it?
Black would be great.
Oh, sophisticated.
I'd take cream if my stomach could handle it, but sure. I'll let you think I'm just mysterious and sophisticated. Oh, thank you. Whew. That's great. I'm not really much of a coffee guy.
Why not?
I don't know, I just never got addicted, but I think it's good to be a hot drink person. It seems like all of the interesting people have a thing, whether that's coffee, tea, or something else.
Well, you're not missing out on much, just some random bathroom breaks and your heart racing.
Well, at least this is still better than the stuff at the support group.
Yeah, all they have is expired instant coffee, Florida tap water, and a dream. It's actually not half bad, all things considered.
You know, I was really glad whenever you reached out.
Of course. I hadn't been in a group in a while, and I remember that I got your information, so I thought it would be nice to talk.
Do you plan on going back soon?
Not sure. I don't know if I was ever really into it. I just started going to get my mom off my back. When I got your number, that was the last meeting I went to, so I'm sorry if you thought I'd just disappeared.
Full disclosure, that was the last time I went as well.
Okay, so I don't feel as bad anymore. Wasn't your thing either?
I wanted it to be. Like, I think I just needed a place to really express myself and meet other people going through this. But to be honest, the whole experience made me feel more isolated.
How so?
I don't know, it just felt like talking to a void. Like, I don't know these people, and I'm sure they don't really care beyond the obligatory condolences. Plus, it didn't help that I was one of the few people there under the age of 50. And that's why I was so happy whenever you reached out. This feels less impersonal than that whole thing.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I remember I saw you, and you didn't look the most confident, but I was the same way. I never really shared anything to begin with.
If you don't mind me asking, why were you meeting with the group?
Well, Taylor, my best friend and roommate, passed away a few months ago.
Oh, that's horrible. Man, that really sucks.
It really does. And thank you for not just saying I'm sorry like everybody else. I mean, that's the socially right thing to say. Like, I am empathizing with the pain you are feeling. That is just a part of being human, and I'm sorry that you have to feel that pain at this particular moment. But sometimes that really sucks just feels a lot better for some reason.
What was she like?
I don't think I could do her justice if I tried. We've known each other since middle school. She moved here from Kentucky, and we were in the same viola class together. Neither of us were any good, so we just sat in the back by ourselves so we could hide behind the better players. We would hang out after school all the time, and as we got older, we went to college together. I think we were both so afraid of losing our connection as life took us different directions, but that never happened. She was always there for me. She never failed to make me laugh until I cried. And if it wasn't tears of happiness, she was there to console me with my tears of sadness. Even when I wasn't the greatest friend, she was. It's like she never had a bad day, ever. Waking up was enough reason for the sun to shine from every part of her body, and I just remember being in such awe of her, while also being jealous that I wasn't her. After college, we both got jobs here in Tampa, and we didn't hesitate to move in together. We would watch an ungodly amount of reality TV and stay up until 3 a.m. just eating junk food and goofing off. Of course, we had to be responsible and be adults with regular adult stresses, but it was just always so easy with her. You know, in the almost 15 years I've known her, I don't think we ever got into a single fight. I really don't think that I'd be able to describe the type of person she was.
I think you just did.
I'm sorry for getting so sappy already.
You should never apologize for the things you feel. I think feeling sappy is how you know you're still living.
What about you? Why were you in group?
My brother died a few weeks ago. I lived with him too. We were twins, and it's been really rough.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's still a shock to me. Unlike you, I really don't think I have any words. There's a legitimate chance that this is already the most I've talked about him since the funeral.
And that's okay. There's not really a guide to this type of thing. Just take the time you need.
Thanks. Maybe one day. But there will be plenty of time for depressing bullshit. Tell me about you. What do you do?
I am a financial analyst for a pension fund. It's about as interesting as it sounds.
That's great. I have no idea what that entails, but it sounds really involved.
It is. It's just that it feels a little soulless.
Not fulfilling?
Not really. I just sit at a computer all day and I don't really get attached or invested in the things that I do. At least when I was in college, I worked at a sandwich shop and I was able to experience firsthand how I was helping people. Granted, it was just sandwiches, but at least I felt fulfilled.
That makes sense.
What about you? What do you do?
Nothing nearly as glamorous. I work at a comic book store.
Like, as an owner?
No. But if the owner goes missing, I'm definitely like second or third in command.
So, if he gets kidnapped, we should suspect you because you have the most to gain.
Is that the kind of high-level deduction that comes with being a financial analyst?
It better be. I didn't go into student loan debt for nothing.
Well, at least you have a degree. I did 2 years of college and just figured it wasn't worth the money.
What'd you study?
Anthropology. To be fair, I liked it and I was good at school, but I figured if I was sinking myself into absurd amounts of debt, that I really needed to be passionate about it, and I wasn't. It disappointed the hell out of my parents, though.
Well, they should just relax and read a comic book then.
That's what I've been trying to tell them. Do you mind giving them a call and trying yourself?
Woke up in the slow, the sun
it's interesting how the U.S. got control of Guam in 1898. So the Spanish-American War's been going on for a couple months, and the U.S. tells this Navy dude, Henry Glass, to change course, go to Guam, and take over the port by force from the Spaniards. So Henry Glass gets there, and when he arrives, he fires 13 shots at the Spanish fortress. The Spaniards, not knowing that there's a war going on because they were never told, and seeing that the shots didn't cause any noticeable damage, just assume it's a friendly and jovial greeting from the US. So their cannons aren't working, so they send a dude out there to say hi. The Spaniard goes out there and says, oh, hey everybody, our cannons weren't working, so we couldn't say hi to you back, but we got your salute and we wanted to come and see what's up. And the dudes from the US are like, well, we've kind of been at war for the last few months, so I guess that means you're a prisoner of war now. And the Spaniards just like, rats. They didn't tell us that. So Spain quickly realizes that they're not ready for battle. So they just surrender right then and there. So in a way, Spanish communication incompetence cost them Guam, but kind of saved a lot of lives in the process. So I guess in hindsight, it's like a net positive.
That also just shows you how stupid war is. But you're right, incompetence can be good sometimes. Like, back in high school, we had this English teacher who was tough. His name was Mr. Conkle, and he was the toughest grader imaginable. On day one, he was bragging about how he's only ever given out an A twice in his career. And we were all trying to get an A so we could get into college and get scholarships and stuff. So this made everybody really pissed off. One day, this kid in my class turned in his essay on Wuthering Heights. But we weren't reading Wuthering Heights. We were reading Great Expectations. Don't know how he got that confused, but that's besides the point. Anyway, he turns in his essay, and Mr. Conkle says it's a beautifully written essay, but because it's on the wrong book, he would fail him. Now, this kid is understandably upset, so he goes home, reads Great Expectations, types up a 6-page essay in one night. He turns it in, and Mr. Conkle said it's a good paper, but he still wouldn't change his grade. And now this kid is livid. He starts this rumor that Mr. Conkle is peddling weed and ecstasy to students. So there's this whole investigation. Turns out it's partially true. Mr. Conkle wasn't selling weed to students, but he and his wife were doing an insane amount of extracurricular drug trafficking. So he goes to jail. We end up getting this substitute teacher that just graduated college, and she barely knows what she's doing. So we basically all just get an A for the year just for showing up. Who knows? If that kid never read Wuthering Heights, I might not have gotten into college.
It's crazy how trivial things have so much power over our lives. It never really feels like we have control over our own destiny at all. Like, you could do everything perfectly just for it to be derailed by something so small. Like, maybe if I learned how to play the oboe instead of joining choir when I was 10 years old, I would have become some world-class musician and been in a different place than I am now. Or maybe if I got dinner last night, instead of going straight home after work, I would have gotten hit by a city bus on the way out and won like a $5 million settlement.
Yeah, but I feel like we'll drive ourselves crazy trying to analyze every small moment in our lives. I've learned to accept the things that I can't control.
I mean, me too. Not like in a religious way or anything, but I figure that I'm not even a fraction of the thought in the context of human history, so who gives a shit what happens to me?
Right? I feel like as long as you're doing the best you can and not being an asshole, that's all that really matters.
What do you believe in?
Well, I was raised religious, and my family's still pretty devout, but me, I still believe in God, but it's not like you're gonna find me in a pew every Sunday praying with every fiber for salvation. Sorry if that sounds cynical.
You kidding? No way. I was also raised religious, and like you, my parents are still pretty devout Bible thumpers. But I haven't been to church since I was a kid. I don't think I believe in God anymore. But it would be nice if this wasn't everything and there was something else out there. But I'm not really holding my breath.
You really don't think there's anything after this?
I figure that the people who claim there's a God know just as much as I do about the afterlife, which is absolutely nothing. The more I think about it, I'm not really holding out hope for some kind of paradise or even some kind of hell for when I die.
Doesn't that scare you?
Massively. It's utterly terrifying to know that my life is just gonna go in an instant and I will cease to exist for all of eternity. Anytime my brain tries to wrap itself around the concept of non-existence, I just freak out.
I was always told to think about the time before you were born. You experienced non-existence for most of human history, so you're well versed in it already.
Not sure that makes me feel much better. I just hope that I live long and I don't see my death coming. Those two goals are kind of at odds with each other sometimes, though. But if there is a God, and there is some way of seeing the people I love on the other side, I'd embrace her fervently. But given recent events, I find it very hard right now to believe in a God, especially one who lets things like this happen.
Yeah. It used to drive me crazy when my mom would refer to Taylor's death as just part of God's plan. Some plan, huh?
I'm in the same boat with you with my parents. I guess it brings them comfort to believe that these horrible tragedies are the enigmatic workings of some just and loving force. In a way, I'm jealous of them because I wish it was that easy to make me feel better about the whole affair.
Yeah. But talking with you is the best I've felt about all of this since it happened.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was thinking that too.
Why didn't you want to say it?
Not sure. Maybe it would be too sappy.
Well, you told me that feeling sappy is how we know we're still living.
Oh my god, no way!
Seriously?
There's no way that happened!
I'm not screwing it with you. I'm serious. That's why I'll never show my face in that Del Taco again.
Man. But, I mean, isn't being a wasted college kid like half an excuse for that?
It makes me feel better to believe that. Like, if I did that now, it'd just be sad. Plus, I really like these clothes.
Yeah, they're really sensible. It'd be a shame if you had to burn them.
You ever do stupid shit when you were a drunk kid in college?
Not really. I get really sleepy when I'm wasted, so I don't really have any eventful memories from my drunken days. However, the one and only time I did edibles in college was really freaky.
What happened?
So my buddy gives me an edible, and after 30 minutes, I don't feel anything. So I'm like, I'm fine to take another one.
You fell for that?
I did. So after I take that second one, there's like a 10-minute period where I'm just smiling uncontrollably and I'm on cloud 9. Then out of nowhere, I just get really paranoid. I feel claustrophobic, panicky, and scared, and I'm at a bar and I'm just freaking out because I can see that I'm holding a beer bottle, but I can't feel it. Like, I can't tell what my muscles are doing, and I'm terrified that I'm gonna drop it. Plus, my sense of time got massively screwed up. Like, I was in the bathroom, and there was a guy next to me at the urinal, and even though he was taking a piss for 20 seconds, it felt like 20 minutes for me. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, this dude is taking the world's longest piss. What a freak.
But you weren't thinking about how you were also peeing for 20 minutes?
That's the thing. It never crossed my mind. My sense of memory was also really screwed up at the time, to the point where I was at the sink washing my hands, and I thought to myself, wait, have I even peed yet? So just to be safe, I go again.
And this is only after 2 edibles.
Yeah. So I leave the bathroom, and my heart is racing, and I feel like I'm about to die. And I beg my friends to get me out of there. So they take me to a restaurant nearby, and my legs are just shaking uncontrollably underneath the table, and I'm trying my best to look normal, but it's not working out. Eventually, our food comes out, and I consume an ungodly amount of nachos and fries, and my hand is just shaking the whole time. And I'm pretty sure people were looking at me like I was crazy. But thankfully, I get home, and the edible wears off later that night, and I have yet to touch one again because of it.
That's all right. Do you want another beer?
I think I am good for the night. I might actually head home soon.
No, don't leave. I mean, don't drive since we've had a few. I have a guest room that you could stay in if you like. I don't have a bed in there, but I could get like some pillows and blankets if you like.
Oh, I mean, if that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah, so if that's okay with you, I might take you up on that offer.
Great. Okay, I'll go get everything out of the closet. Do you want another shirt since you got some beer on yours?
That would be great. Oh, and Elli?
Yeah?
I would have just called an Uber. I wouldn't have driven drunk.
Okay. That's good to know. But it'd still be nice to have you here. Alright. I'm pretty drunk, but I think I did a half decent job laying everything out.
Stellar, Elli. Just stellar. Thanks again for letting me stay here.
What are friends for?
It was great spending time with you again. Haven't really enjoyed myself like that in a while.
Neither have I. I'm glad you came. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Elli. Make sure to drink some water before bed.
Way ahead of you.
Come in. Is everything okay?
I can't sleep. Sorry if I woke you.
That's okay. Couldn't really sleep either.
Is it okay if I stand here for a bit?
Yeah, I don't mind. It is your place after all. Anything bothering you tonight?
I don't know. It's just weird having someone in the apartment again.
I can leave if you want.
No. It's nice having you here. It's just been a while. It's been so lonely here for months.
And it just feels too quiet.
I guess so.
The walls at our apartment are paper thin. I'd be able to hear Jonah opening drawers, his bathroom sink, or any other tiny noise he made throughout the night. Now, it's just nothing. It makes it harder to fall asleep because that silence I hear is not comforting.
Taylor was a serial snorer. Even in this apartment, I could hear her snorts ever so slightly at night. I can't believe how much I relied on them to put me to sleep.
Because you didn't know anything else. She's been with you for more than half your life, so it's gonna take some time to go back to the way things were.
Do you think we'll eventually learn how to live without them?
I hope so. But I also hope we don't. While I want peace, and I want to be free from this unbearable pain in my chest, I'm also afraid of forgetting what life was like with him.
I know it sounds irrational, but I'm afraid of forgetting Taylor. Like, healing and moving on means I'll be erasing her memory ever so slightly.
Since we were twins, looking in the mirror has been hard. I see his face in mine, and it's like a reminder that I'll never be half the person he was. Like, the wrong twin died.
Hey, you can't say that. There isn't a wrong one the same way there isn't a right one. The world takes indiscriminately.
I know. I think getting older is going to be the hardest part. Instead of seeing Jonah as he was, I'll be seeing him as he could have been. I'll be seeing the face he would have had if the world were a little less cruel.
Was it hard being a twin?
Not at all. We were such a cliche, though. He was the ambitious whiz kid, and I was the one who was just going through the motions of life. But there was no animosity. We bickered like brothers are supposed to. But we were best friends. Since we were so different, we both felt comfortable with being who we were without feeling like we were stepping in each other's territory. I don't think I ever asked you. Do you have any siblings?
I don't.
Do you ever wish you did?
Sometimes, I guess. It would have been nice to grow up with someone by my side. My parents can definitely be overbearing, so it would have been great to split that between two kids instead of just me. Maybe being an only child is why I latched onto Taylor so much. In a way, she was like the sister I always wanted. All the joy and none of the fighting. It just hurts so much. This floor is the worst.
You could have gone back to your bed if you wanted.
That would require getting up. And I don't think I can do that right now.
Me either.
Good morning, by the way.
Good morning, Elli. Crazy idea.
What?
What if we both called in sick to work today?
Sounds like you read my mind.
Great. So we can take as much time as we need to get up.
Okay. Let's hope it's soon, because I need to pee. So, since we're not working today, do you want to do anything? You mentioned you like to run.
I don't think either of us are in a state right now to run. Maybe we could go for a walk on one of the trails instead.
A walk. That'd be nice.
Are you sure? You don't sound great.
I'll be good. I think it's coming to the end.
Okay. I'll head home and get some clothes and I'll be right back, okay?
How's it going? Do you think about me anymore?
How long have you been doing this?
I used to run here every now and then, but ever since Jonah died, it's pretty much become an everyday thing.
How far?
Not sure, maybe like 40 miles a week.
You say that as if it's nothing.
It's easy to get lost in the silence and calmness of everything, so you just want to naturally extend your runs as much as possible.
Couldn't be me. I just sit in bed on my phone most days.
Did you ever used to run?
I did one day of cross country in middle school.
What happened?
I ran 3 miles, threw up, then passed out. I should maybe get back into it.
Well, if you ever do want to get back into it, sans vomit, let me know and I'll gladly join you. It feels weird, you know, like not being at work.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a bad employee. But these are my sick days that I'm entitled to, so why do I feel bad about it?
I think we've been conditioned since we were young to associate our self-worth with showing up. Like, do you remember how in elementary school they would give us those perfect attendance awards?
Oh yeah, my school threw a pizza party for those kids. In hindsight, it was a pretty good incentive because I would force myself to go to school even when I felt sick because a pizza party sounded dope.
And that's where they get you. Now we're adults and feeling guilty about taking a sick day, and the worst part is we don't even get pizza for showing up anymore.
To be honest, we're not really taking a sick day, just a hangover day.
Which is an equally valid reason to take off work. Don't discriminate against hangovers.
All right, I won't discriminate, but I will hate on them. Hangovers are the only sickness we repeatedly pay to get.
I mean, but you gotta admit it's sometimes worth it though. And the cheap stuff works just as good as the expensive stuff.
Got me there. Who can afford expensive liquor in this economy?
Shit, I can barely afford the cheap stuff. Don't answer if you don't want to, but now that you don't have a roommate, how are you doing with the rent?
It's not ideal, but I can swing it. I feel like I'm in a pretty privileged spot to be, like, considering that's not even the top of my worries right now. How about you?
Not ideal either, but I'm lucky. Jonah, being the overachiever he was, took out a small life insurance policy before he died. So after the funeral expenses, there was some left over to help with the rent for a little while. Not really sure what my long-term plans are gonna be though.
Do you like Tampa?
I do, but I've just been here my whole life, so if I stay, that's all right. But maybe I want something different. I don't really have much in this city right now other than my job. I'm not a kid anymore, so my parents don't really need me around.
I don't think I could ever leave. Too many memories.
Hey, is it cool if I use your guest bathroom to take a shower?
Yeah, sure. There should be shampoo in there, but you might smell like citrus and estrogen.
I've smelled like worse. Thanks.
I'll go grab you a towel. Taylor's room. I haven't moved anything since she died. It's all just kind of there.
I haven't even looked in Jonah's room since he died. Not sure if I could.
It was hard at first. But leaving the door open just a crack has made it a little easier. Here's a towel.
Oh, thanks, Elli.
Who taught you how to cook?
Just me. Growing up, both of our parents worked, so me and Jonah had to teach ourselves how to cook if we wanted anything other than bologna sandwiches every day.
This is really embarrassing, but I didn't learn how to cook until college, and it took a long time for me to stop being shitty at it.
I'm sure you weren't that bad.
My first semester, I triggered the dorm fire alarm because my pasta caught on fire while I was cooking it.
Wait. You were boiling your pasta in water, and it caught on fire?
I have paid my debt to society and gotten better. It's not my proudest moment. And you should take this confession as a sign of how much I like and trust you.
I'm just baffled by the mechanics of that. Like, I don't know how one would replicate this incident.
Sorry, we can't all be gourmet chefs like you.
Oh, please.
I'm sorry, normal people don't just know the exact measurements to sun butter coconut curry. Which was great, by the way. Thank you again for that.
Yeah, of course. I figured if I'm gonna be hanging out around here and mooching off of you, this is the least I could do to repay you.
Oh, stop. You know you don't have to.
But I want to. This is a good recipe that I like, and I really enjoyed sharing it with you.
How'd you find out about it?
A few years ago, Jonah got me a cookbook for our birthdays, and we committed ourselves to making every single dish in the book. We only got like a third of the way through it, but this was by far and away our favorite dish. It was a nice way for us to de-stress and spend time together every month.
Hey.
And if I can't ever make it again with him, I at least want to be able to share it with other people. I'm sorry. It's my first time making this since he died, and I told myself I wouldn't do this. How silly it is to cry over food.
Don't be so quick to discredit food. My grandma came from Thailand, and she always told us that food was her love language. She spoke about her meals as if that was her way of letting us know how much she loved and cared about us. And it's clear you love and care about Jonah.
I really did. I really do. I always will. I think I want to talk about what happened now.
I'm all ears.
I just haven't really gone into detail about everything, but I can't keep being afraid of revisiting it, no matter how hard it is. It was a Sunday night, and we were watching a baseball game on TV together. It was the Rays and Yankees. We were just goofing off with a couple beers, talking shit about the players, and just chatting like we always did. I go to work the next day, and when I come home, I see that his light is off. I just assume he went out with some people after work. So I grab my things and I go see a movie down the street. I don't get home until late at night, so when I see that his light is still off, I just assume he's asleep because he has work the next day. The next morning I go to my car and the battery's dead. So I run back inside so Jonah can help me jump it. I knock on the door, but no response. I decide to call him and to see if that would wake him up. I hear the ringtone coming from his room, but still nothing. Now I'm getting concerned, and I'm just knocking on the door harder and harder, but still nothing. There's a lock on the door, so I can't get in right away. Eventually, I end up grabbing a flathead screwdriver from our toolbox, and I get the lock to budge. And when I open the door, I just see his body laying in bed. Not laying peacefully or anything, but like slumped over. Like he woke up in the middle of the night and just hunched over. He looked so uncomfortable. I'm in utter shock, and I run to his body. No breathing, no pulse, so I knew what I had to do. Him and I were in the Boy Scouts as kids, and they taught us what to do in this exact situation. I pull his body to the ground. It's cold, but I knew I still had to give it a shot. I had the paramedics on speakerphone, and I'm doing chest compressions, praying to some entity beyond myself to save my brother. The paramedics arrive and declare him dead at the scene. My brother was dead, and there was nothing I could do about it. From here, my memory is just like a giant fog. Patches of trauma shine through the haze, but I don't remember the bulk of what happened. I just remember them taking away his body, and I remember the phone call that was made to my parents. I remember hearing my voice tell my parents that their son was dead. I don't remember saying it. I just remember hearing my voice say it. Like I was disconnected from reality at that point. Hearing the wail of my mother was the shock that brought me back to reality before I fell back into a haze. It was a haunting sound. If there was something I wish I could forget, it would be the sound my mother made upon hearing the news. No mother should ever have to hear those words. The world was not made to withstand the screams of a mother who just lost her child. Growing up, my dad wasn't really good at showing emotion or even affection for that matter. As little kids, he'd give our foreheads kisses goodnight, but that ended pretty quickly. From then on, it was handshakes because that's what men do. His father, my grandfather, was the same way. He thought that men needed to be dignified and not show emotion because that was a sign of weakness. You were allowed to feel the range of human emotions, but the world cannot see it. That call was the first time I ever heard my dad cry. It started out as a brief shout of shock and anger before becoming a flood of tears. It was like seeing a side of him I'd never seen before. And I thought, despite the despair and darkness of that day, maybe this could be a turning point for him. Maybe he realized that emotion isn't weakness and we should allow ourselves to feel vulnerable, especially with those we love. I wanted nothing more than to give my parents the world's biggest and tightest hug and never let go. When I saw my dad later that week at the funeral, he just shook my hand. My brother had just died and all I wanted to do was hug my dad. Beyond that, I don't remember much about the funeral. I said some things, wouldn't be able to tell you what. We've always been a small family, so it was a quiet affair. I spent the weekend with my family, and even when I talked to my parents, they weren't there. And I don't blame them, because it's an unthinkable tragedy, but part of me can't help but feel like they were disappointed with the kid who survived. All my life, it was clear that Jonah was going to be the more successful twin. And I was okay with that, because if anybody deserved success and happiness, it was him. He was so eloquent and so smart without even trying. And he was a genuine polymath who could do anything he set his mind to. He was a state-recognized French horn player, and he knew more about botany and plant care than any sane teenager should. But of all the things he loved and was knowledgeable about, engineering beckoned him. He breezed through school and landed a great job as a mechanical engineer here in town, and I just remember how proud we all were of him and everything he's accomplished. And I could definitely tell my parents were elated to see how great their kid was. My dad would always talk to us a lot about legacy. As kids, he would tell us we need to be proud of who we were, proud of our family. He instilled in us the idea that we'd be the ones to carry on our family name, and we had to make it mean something. He wanted us to be successful and do something with our lives, and Jonah satisfied my father's wishes to a T. But after everything that's happened, and after seeing him that weekend, I feel like he'd rather have no legacy than have mine. You know, he never even once called to check on me after the funeral. He never once called to check on his only son to see how he was doing. Every time I call my mom, she says something like, oh, he's busy with work or he's preoccupied with something else. So I don't push beyond that. After a few weeks, I stopped asking for him altogether. We put my twin brother in the ground, and it seems like that's where my dad thinks the story ends. Throughout all the chaos, I forgot that Jonah was seeing some woman he met online. They'd gone on a couple dates and he'd stayed at her place a few times, but I never met her. To be fair, I don't remember her name and I couldn't figure out how to reach her and tell her the news. I hope she's doing alright. And I hope she doesn't think that Jonah just straight up forgot about her. He wasn't that kind of guy. After a few weeks, we got the toxicology report back. Jonah died of a drug overdose. I didn't even know he was using, so I thought there must have been a mistake. It was easier for me to believe there was an error on a medical report than it was for me to believe that Jonah OD'd. It made me wonder about all the things I didn't know about him. I thought I knew everything about him until we got that report. And if he was using or having a hard time, why wouldn't he talk to me about it? It just made me feel so confused and conflicted. Like I couldn't even move on because of how much I didn't know. And after weeks of torturing myself, it boiled down to this. If Jonah overdosed on accident, then how could he be so careless and stupid? And if he did it on purpose, how could I? Jonah was a titan. I never witnessed a person, place, thing, force. I never witnessed anything that could stop him. Anything that could defeat him. And for his story to end like this, it's a horrifying realization. For the most amazing person I've ever known in my life, to die like this, to die so unceremoniously, so abruptly, and so senselessly, it made me think that if his life didn't matter, then neither can mine. I cried myself to sleep every night until one day I couldn't. It was like I ran out of tears. It was so hard to fall asleep without that. I tried to force it, but came up empty. It made me feel so guilty. Like my body, my tears didn't miss him as much as they should have. As the pain slowly subsides, I feel like I'm losing a part of him, and it's absolutely terrifying. I'm sorry. For what seems like forever now, I've been plagued with this unspeakable grief. And now it seems like I have too much to say for my own good.
The thing about unspeakable grief is that it yearns to be heard. It's okay. Let it out.
Welcome to We Love Comics. Please let me know if there is anything I can do to help.
Wow, so this is where the magic happens, huh?
Elli, what are you doing here?
Damn, no Elli, what a pleasant surprise.
I'm sorry, I thought that was already implied by your presence.
I'm just messing with you. All of our servers crashed at work, so they told us to screw off a few hours early.
A corporate dream.
Exactly, so I thought I'd come by and see your stomping grounds. Not too shabby. Maybe I could help you kidnap your boss so that this could all be yours. He's not here, is he?
Nah, he's all the way in Oldsmar checking out some guy's collection. He just called and said it was about 20 short boxes and several graded keys, so it might be a while.
I'll act like that made sense.
Hang out around here enough and it will.
So, would I be like the only girl here, or is it like those movies where there's a ton of lonely, nerdy guys who troll actresses online?
Oh, you see, I'm a lonely, nerdy guy who prefers to troll his actresses via mail. It's a lot more personal that way. In all seriousness, though, the people here are great. And surprisingly, half of the regulars are women.
Betty Friedan is probably looking fondly from the grave at this inspiring display of feminism.
Well, don't tell the guys this, but the women have a lot better taste in comics, too. They tend to pick more thought-provoking and poignant titles. The ladies have a real knack for finding some brilliant little indie gems.
You seem like an expert on thought-provoking literature, so what is that you're reading right now?
And if you had told me you'd be stopping by, I would have picked out something a little more sophisticated to read.
Come on, what is it?
Ninja Turtles.
Wow, how poignant. A brilliant little indie gem.
Hey, I'm allowed to be an advocate for elevated and ambitious storytelling while also recognizing the inherent value in watching turtles kick ass.
Okay, you got me there. So, is it usually this dead?
Well, it is a Monday. New books come out Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's a bit of a ghost town. But I don't really mind. It pretty much means I get paid to screw around and read. And now I'm getting paid to talk to you, which is something I already gladly do for free.
Oh, you thought this was free. I'm sorry, my presence is actually pretty valuable, so now that the free trial is over, I'm gonna have to start invoicing you.
You think I can afford that working here?
Friends and family discount for you then.
Well, in that case, how about you hang around here, look around, and when the boss gets back, we will get something to eat.
Sounds good.
And why did you do that?
I have to see what all the fuss is with these adolescent turtles you're so enamored with. So, I have this friend that's getting married next weekend in Orlando, and I kind of slipped my mind until I found the invitation in my desk drawer last night. I don't think I'm gonna know anyone there, so I was wondering if you'd want to come.
Driving on I-4 to Orlando sounds very miserable. But going to a wedding with you sounds nice enough to make it worth it.
Thank God. I was kind of dreading it.
You're not a big wedding person?
No, I am. It's just hard to have a fun time when you don't know a lot of people there. But now I'll have you to pressure into dancing like an idiot with me.
Hey, that's my specialty.
And if it's boring, we can bail and do something else.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I don't know about that. I once went with her to visit her parents on a school holiday, and it was the most milquetoast experience ever.
What do you do?
I wish we did something. All that happened was we played board games with her parents while Golden Girls played in the background.
Hey, board games are fun though.
All they had was Candyland, Old Maid, and Chutes and Ladders.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, they didn't even have anything good. Like, there wasn't even a deck of playing cards, no chess. Hell, I honestly would have been ecstatic if they even had a checkers board. You know how many times you can play Candyland before it gets boring? 0. It felt like getting lobotomized.
So what I'm hearing is her parents are likely not going to be throwing acid at this wedding.
Probably not. But they're like Southern Country Club white, so if Sweet Caroline comes on, all bets are off. Home at last.
You're acting like you were the one who had to drive through that 60-minute backup on the freeway.
True, but I did have to pick the music for that additional hour, which is a stressful job, but I obliged anyway. Alright, you want a drink?
Elli, we just got back from a wedding.
And you didn't get to drink because you had to drive, so now it's time for you to catch up with me.
How many drinks would it take to catch up? Dating back to King Ptolemy I, executed criminals were used for the purposes of dissection back in a time when our knowledge as a species was anatomically primitive. This continued on for millennia. As anatomy schools in England began to flourish, there was a dire shortage of cadavers to dissect and study. Because of how devout and frankly literal the Christian public was at the time, donating one's body to science wasn't really heard of. That's why they still relied on executed criminals for the material. But I guess if you committed a crime worthy of execution, the public wasn't too concerned with the state of your body whenever you went to go meet your maker. So anyway, these schools in England are freaking out because they need cadavers to remain a lucrative operation for aspiring students. They didn't want to lose students to other institutions throughout Europe who had more cadavers for reasons I won't get into right now. Anyway, body snatching became a common tactic to deal with this shortage. Now you're probably thinking, isn't grave robbing illegal? Yes, it is. But grave robbing consists of pilfering possessions from the deceased. If you just dig up a grave, take the cadaver, and don't steal any material items from it, there really weren't any laws explicitly prohibiting it, because up until that point, why else would someone dig up a body if not for the robbing of jewels and heirlooms?
I can think of at least one reason.
Gross, Elli. Eventually, this becomes a kind of lucrative industry. Since you didn't want bodies that would decay quickly, this job was mostly done in the winter months when it was colder outside, and an average body snatcher would make like 5 times that of the average unskilled laborer, and they got summers off. Kind of a morally questionable and kind of gross job, but it indirectly led to a lot of medical advances, so I think whatever God they believed in would look past that come Judgment Day. It was a little tidbit I got from a Mary Roach book I read in the library.
Damn. Has anyone ever told you say some odd things when you drink?
It's come up. The fun facts mean I'm in that good phase of drunkenness.
That's because those last 2 shots haven't kicked in yet.
Well, then maybe I should cancel my plans for tomorrow.
You were still planning on going on a morning run, were you?
Oh, God, no. Even if I was sober, after all that dancing I did tonight, I'd be lucky if I can get out of bed in the morning.
That was definitely something. I honestly didn't think you had it in you.
That wasn't even 100%.
What do I have to do to see that?
Ooh, go with me to a hardcore punk show and watch me in the pit.
Hardcore punk? You're into that?
The music itself, I could take it or leave it. But the small shows with those bands are so much fun.
How's it different from a normal concert?
I don't think you can go about like thrashing and skanking around at just any old concert.
Skanking? What the hell is that?
It's like a dance where you're like almost like walking or running in place. It was like an early like punk and ska thing. Whenever I go to these shows, I would do some like bastardized combination of skanking and general moshing.
Who would you normally do this with?
Me and Jonah would go ironically, but eventually we grew to really love that scene and we really enjoyed dancing at these shows. The Orpheum up on Nebraska is a good venue for that kind of thing.
I think I would pay money to see you do this because I'm just morbidly curious, but I don't think I could go with you to one of these shows.
How about this? I will show you right here and right now as long as you do it with me.
What? No, I'm not that extreme.
Well, neither am I, but I don't let it stop me from looking like an idiot and throwing myself around.
Oh gosh, I don't think I can do this.
No, this is gonna be fun. Me and Jonah would always have so much fun whenever we do this. Your phone. Where's your phone?
The table.
I'll put on the last band we went to go see together. Look, the important thing is to just relax and have fun, all right? Nobody's watching us, it's just you and me, okay? I think a good attitude is like half the battle with this. And let me remind you, you are the one who wanted to see this.
I wanted you to look like an idiot, not me.
You're gonna be perfect. You always are.
Oh, wow.
It's equal parts liberating and exhausting, right?
It was definitely something. That's for sure.
You were getting really into it for someone who was so against it a few minutes ago.
I think being alone at home helped me loosen up a bit, but I don't think I could go to one of those shows with you.
Totally fair. I got kicked in the jaw the last time I went.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, some guy was like doing windmill kicks in the pit and just nailed me right in the jaw. I didn't break anything though, so that was a plus. Do you ever go to any concerts?
Not too much. Taylor was really into the local scene though. I think the last time I went to a show with her was like a year ago for some really local indie band.
Did you guys dance?
At some point it wasn't too crowded, so we jokingly slow danced to one of their songs, although I don't really think it's the kind of song you can slow dance to.
You can slow dance to anything if you try hard enough. Can you play the song if you remember it?
Yeah, let me check.
To be fair, I don't really know how to slow dance.
Me neither. Just put your hands on my hips and we'll improvise. Come in.
Hey, What's all this?
It's for us.
Yeah, but that's enough to choke a small camel.
I thought it would be a good idea to be prepared.
For what? Oh no, we are not doing
Oh,
that.
yes, we
no,
are.
this is not happening. Do you know what I was thinking?
That we should sports bet on some Korean ping pong tonight.
Oh my god, yes. How do you know I was thinking that?
Thinking what?
The ping pong.
I'm not good at ping pong.
Neither am I, but that's cool.
What is?
That we're like on the same wavelength.
Like our periods are in sync or something.
Exactly like that. Oh my god. Are we like pheromoning on each other or something?
I don't know. Probably. Do you want to know something that most people don't talk about in our society?
What's that?
They always have to take a massive shit when you walk into a bookstore.
That's called the Mariko Aoki phenomenon.
How do you know that?
You can only shit your pants so many times at a Barnes & Nobles before you start looking for answers.
Damn. I thought I discovered something new.
I'm sorry. I forgot what we were talking about.
I think I did too.
Do you know something I do that I absolutely hate?
Huh.
I can't maintain eye contact with anybody. Like when I talk to someone or I meet someone new, my eyes are just darting around everywhere, and I'm pretty sure these people think I'm some kind of friggin' antisocial freak or something, and I just hate myself so much for that, but I don't know how to stop. I also hate that when I meet somebody new, I ask them what they do for work.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know, I just feel like this country has conditioned us to tie our identity to our work and productivity and not to our hobbies, passions, or other things that make us happy.
Huh. I never thought of it like that. Maybe because almost everyone has a job. But there's like plenty of people with nothing else.
You really think there are people with jobs, but nothing else? No hobbies, no passions, no nothing?
Oh, definitely. Like everybody at my office eats, sleeps, breathes, and shits finance. It's kind of sad. I'm afraid I'll become like that with enough time.
You're way too fun and interesting to become like that.
Speaking of fun, do you want to hear a joke?
Always.
So, there's a baseball player who has just gotten divorced. He's lonely, and he decides that because he met his ex-wife at a bar, he would go somewhere else and look. So he goes to the church, and when he gets to the church, he finds the priest, and he asks the priest if there are any beautiful women at the parish. Then the priest says, I forget what he says.
Hi, how can I help you?
I'm Morgan.
Oh my,
I was seeing your brother Jonah when...
Yeah, of course. Do you want to come in and talk?
Sure, yeah.
I only had lemon ginger. I hope that's okay.
Perfect. I hope you don't think it's weird that I found this address.
Oh, not at all. I figured you'd have been here before, just not when I was around.
I just didn't really write it down anywhere, and I'm awful with directions.
How'd you figure it out?
Florida voter registration. With someone's name and birthday, you can pretty much find anything about them.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I'm glad you found me, though. I really did try and find you, but I just had so little to go off of. I really did want to tell you about Jonah.
I figured. It was a really rough time for me.
I can only imagine.
I know it's stupid to say that in front of his actual brother, but...
Hey, not at all. You must have just been in the dark for so long, and that's just awful.
Yeah. We were supposed to go see a movie, but he just suddenly stopped texting me back. And I tried calling, but nothing. I didn't really peg him as the kind of guy who would just ghost me like that, so I kind of got in a really big funk about it. All of my friends told me that he was probably just some asshole who had already moved on and that I should do the same, but it was hard. I know we'd only been dating for a couple of months, but I really liked him. Something didn't feel right, and so I decided to, just try and search for him online. And after some scrolling and searching, I found his obituary. I just remember my heart dropping into my stomach. I didn't want to believe it, but on my computer, that was his face. I didn't want it to be real. I thought I was gonna be sick or pass out or something. It reminded me of one of those nightmares that I would have where everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and I would just be running around and panicking because, God, it just felt like everything was over and my life was ending and the world was ending, and then eventually I'd wake up and everything would be fine, and all of those things that I experienced weren't actually real.
And right now you're just waiting to wake up from that dream, but now you're afraid that this is a nightmare that's never going to end. It never ends. I'm sorry if that's not comforting. I felt the same way for the longest time. I just kind of accepted the fact that I'd never be 100% okay again. But I also accepted the fact that when you're at rock bottom, it can only get better. I learned to not hope for good days, but to hope for days that are better than the last. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's what keeps me going.
Do you think you could tell me something?
What's that?
Your favorite memory about Jonah?
I haven't really given that much thought.
It can just be any memory.
Okay, growing up, there was this bridge by an elementary school next to our house, and underneath that bridge is where kids would go to make out, spray paint, or just mess around. I remember one summer when we were 11 years old and we were home alone, bored, and we went to our friends' houses, and none of them were home, so just me and Jonah walked up the bayou to that bridge. I don't know if I could tell you what we were talking about. Probably girls or something. I mean, we were just kids. When we got to the bridge, we found an unopened 6-pack of Bud Lights. And since our parents didn't drink, this was like a massive discovery for us. And being kids with that like dangerous combination of like boredom and curiosity, we cracked open the beers and started drinking them. And we both knew it tasted like absolute shit, but we were too proud to admit an adult beverage tasted anything other than refreshing. We were just acting cooler than we actually were. Or I guess I should say I was, since Jonah was actually cool. I don't recall much else from that day. I just think about how I had my first beer with my brother. And even though the lukewarm beer tasted like dirty bathwater, I wish I could go back and do it all over again. I'm sorry, that's not the most interesting story.
No, that was perfect. He never really told me much about himself growing up. Only you.
Me?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, he would talk all the time about how much fun it was having you in his life. He would say you were his best friend in the world.
He was my best friend too.
I know he really wanted us to meet one day.
And I'm glad we did. I just wish it was under better circumstances.
Yeah, me too. You can say no, but, do you think that I could go in his room? I don't know if you've, like, cleaned it out already or anything. The last time I was here, I'm pretty sure I left some stuff in there.
I mean, I haven't really been in there since the morning I found him, so it should be as he left it.
Are you sure? I really don't.
Yeah, of course. It's not like I have much use for it anyway.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. I'll be quick.
Hey, Avery. Oh, hi, Elli.
It's been too long.
Yeah, no, it has. Thanks for coming out here to my school. Sorry if the drive was bad.
Wasn't anything I'm not used to.
Good.
So, how are you liking classes?
It's been pretty good so far. Yeah. Yeah, no, actually it's super cool. It's wonderful. I love it. It's great. It's a really good campus. I mean, and there's always something to do around here, which is good. I'm actually, I'm going to a silent disco tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, which I'm excited about.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
can't believe you're like practically an adult now, on your own, living that college life.
Yeah, you're acting like you're that much older than me.
I don't know, you're still that little munchkin-sized dork in my head like when I first met you.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then to me, you're still that pimply, brace-faced, cargo shirt-wearing tomboy when I first met you.
Oh. It's good to see you again, Cooper.
Yeah, you too, nerd.
I brought you some stuff from Taylor's room that I thought you should have.
Oh. Wow, that's sweet of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
How you doing with all this?
Still taking it day by day. And the school offers two free therapy sessions a month, so I've just been taking advantage of that. One thing I've learned, though, is that the world keeps spinning. I mean, even when it feels impossible to move forward, you just gotta keep on going. I mean, otherwise you're just wasting the limited amount of life that your loved one lost out on. So,
So, like, it's our duty to the deceased to make the most of our time here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's okay to cry. Miss them forever, but like, if there's no afterlife, right, then they're never gonna notice our grief. And if there is an afterlife, then, you know, we'll have all of eternity to tell them how much we miss them.
That's pretty good for free therapy.
That's literally what I'm thinking. Like, it's good. How about you, though? I mean, are you doing all right?
Like you, I'm sort of taking it a day at a time. I tried going to this support group a while back, but that didn't really work out. I did meet a friend there, though. So even though I don't go to that group anymore, he's been a good friend and a great help in this time.
Mm. What's he like?
He's pretty funny. Yeah. And he's good company. A tad cynical, knows a lot of odd tidbits, but his twin brother died, so I don't even think I could begin to imagine what his head is going through most of the time.
Yeah. Jeez. That's awful. At least he has you know? That's kind of been, like, the worst part about being here at college. I mean, there's no one readily available to, like, talk this out. I see my parents, like, every month or so, but otherwise it's just me.
I'm sorry.
Nah. Don't be. It's not like you told all my friends to go to different schools, so...
Well, you know I'm always here if you need someone to call.
Thanks, but I don't want to be a bother.
Please. You think I'm living a busy and lavish
I
life?
don't know.
Most nights I'm just sitting on the couch alone at home eating Cheetos with no pants on, so I mean it when I say to reach out if you need someone to talk to.
Alright. Thanks, Elli. Even though I lost Taylor, I'm really glad I still have you.
So, something happened today. Jonah's girlfriend Morgan came to my apartment to talk to me.
What? Really? How'd that go?
It was fine, it just caught me off guard. She's sweet as can be, but it just felt so odd to see her on a random afternoon. I'm afraid I was acting weird in front of her.
Isn't that just your default setting?
Fair. I just don't think I was emotionally prepared to see her after all this time, so I'm afraid I sounded like I had a foot in my mouth.
Even if you did, which I'm sure you didn't, I can guarantee you that she didn't notice or care. She was probably just, like, excited to finally see how you are.
Yeah, well, something still lingers in my mind, though.
What is it?
Her face.
What about her face?
It did something peculiar when I opened the door. Like, I could tell she was bracing to see Jonah's face, my face. And when I opened the door, her face did something that I can't really describe or put into words. It was like some combination of seeing a ghost and seeing an old friend.
Oh, man.
And now I'm wondering if this is going to be the new normal when I see people we both knew. Like, am I going to have a face that people have to mentally prepare to see?
Maybe at first, but you're your own person, and I'm sure Jonah was just like fresh on her mind, so that probably won't happen the next time you see her.
I mean, speaking of that, we exchanged information in case you needed anything, but I don't know if it's right to see her again.
Why not?
We barely know each other, and while she was really broken up over Jonah, it's not like they were together for the longest time. Like, if this was somebody he was going to spend his life with, then yeah, I'd keep in touch, make sure she's doing okay and all that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I want her to be happy, and I want her to move on and not have to worry about the brother of some dead ex-boyfriend she had for a couple months.
That's a tough one. Maybe just casually reach out to check in on her over the next couple weeks and see how everything goes. I'm not sure though. I always add that line at the end so I'm not liable in case my advice sucks.
You're good. I appreciate you hearing me out.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what's her name?
Morgan?
How did Morgan get your address? Did Jonah give it to her?
So it turns out in the state of Florida, as long as you have somebody's name and birthday, you can find the address they used to vote. So I'm pretty sure she remembered Jonah's birthday and found me that way.
Wow, that's impressive. I couldn't remember my own birthday if my grandparents didn't send me a card once a year.
Right? So her memory must be pretty good because dates are not my strong suit at all.
I don't know if I've asked you this, but when's your birthday?
It's on October 10th.
Wait, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah?
Dude, happy birthday! Why didn't you say anything?
I don't know. I don't like my birthday on a regular year, and I guess this year I had even less of a reason to celebrate than usual.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could have been there with you.
No, that's okay. I just stayed home and watched a movie.
Did your parents call?
My mom called.
Well, I am really bad at remembering birthdays, so I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget it. And trust me, you're not getting off easy next year.
When's your birthday?
You didn't tell me until 2 days after when your birthday was, so I'm not telling you until 2 days after mine. Can't let you get the drop on me. So, something interesting also happened to me today.
What's that?
I went to go visit Taylor's sister at her college.
And how did that go?
It was rough. She's like a little sister to me, and I hadn't seen her in person since the funeral, so it was bittersweet. I think I'm gonna make it a habit of going to go visit her more often. You know, with her being at a new school and all, I'm just worried about her. She seemed fine, but I want to be there for her.
Well, that's really nice of you. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Like you said, you're like a sister to her.
And I also finally went into Taylor's room and I got a box of her things and gave it to her sister to hopefully make her feel better.
Well, coincidentally, I also went into Jonah's room for the first time today. How'd it go for you?
I cried. What about you?
I cried. I just walked into the room though. I couldn't muster up the courage to look through all his things, so you have me beat there.
You'll get there eventually. I don't know if I tell you this enough, but thank you for everything you do.
Hey, I thought we agreed this is a mutually beneficial relationship.
We did. I'm just grateful to have you around.
Well, you do more for me than I could ever do for you. I hit the jackpot as far as I'm concerned. You found the equivalent of a moderately shiny nickel on the ground.
You gotta stop selling yourself short. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Camden,
Yeah?
I really like you.
Well, that's good news. I really like you too. I thought we kind of established that already.
We did. I just want you to hear it from me.
Is everything okay?
Would you still like me if I did something bad?
What do you mean?
I think I want to tell you what happened with Taylor.
Yeah. Of course.
It was a Friday night, and I just finished up a long day at work. But I was excited to head out for the night. I agreed to be the designated driver because Taylor and I were headed to some party at a friend of a friend's house. And she was a DD last time, so it was my turn. I was fine with that because while I do enjoy a drunk night out, I can have equally as much fun being the DD. So we head out, and when we get there, Taylor starts drinking, like usual. We both usually drink a lot at the start of the night, and then let it slowly wear off over time, so that's what she did. She had some tequila, mixed drinks, seltzers, nothing out of the ordinary. After a few hours, she's not feeling well. She got her period and tells me that she had a really bad stomach ache. I could tell this wasn't her being drunk because she's my best friend. I know what drunk Taylor looks like, and this wasn't her. I was talking to some guy I met, and I didn't want to leave. So I told her she could take the keys, and I'd take an Uber home. She assured me she wasn't drunk, and that she hadn't had a drink since when we first got there. She seemed fine. She was walking straight, and she sounded completely sober. I gave her the keys. I figured since I didn't have to drive that I'd start drinking. Long story short, I get wasted and I take the Uber home. I'm so out of it, I can barely get the key in the door. So I don't realize that her car isn't in the parking lot. I don't realize that her door's open. I don't realize the apartment's empty. I don't realize my best friend never got home. I get woken up by my phone ringing at noon the next day. It's Taylor's mom. She tells me that Taylor's car was found in a ditch early that morning. She was in the front seat, dead, when the first responders arrived. I'm hungover like crazy, and I'm just trying not to throw up everywhere from the shock. I just feel fully empty in every part of my body. I'm freaking out, and it's just awful. I don't have the heart to tell her what happened. I just tell her we were at a friend's place and Taylor wasn't feeling well. I don't mention that Taylor was drinking. And I don't mention I was supposed to take her home. As we wait for the autopsy results, I can't eat. I can't sleep. My body is shaking at all hours. I can't live with myself and what I've done. the results come in. Taylor had an estimated BAC of 0.07%, just shy of the legal limit. Her mom asked me if I knew that she was drinking. And this is my chance to be honest and tell this grieving family what really happened. I tell her I didn't know she was drinking. I tell her that Taylor told me that she hadn't had a single drink all night. I lie like a fucking coward. I'm the reason their daughter's dead. And I couldn't even tell them the truth. I was supposed to take her home. I could have told that guy I was talking to that my friend was more important and that she wasn't feeling well. I could have asked Taylor to text me when she made it home so I could be sure she was safe. There's so much I could have done. I go to her funeral and everybody gives me hugs and treats me like I'm a member of the family. During that whole service, I felt like a fraud. I couldn't live with myself being surrounded by the people who loved her most, knowing that they'd hate me if they knew the truth. I go up to the podium to speak at one point, but I don't even know what I said. All I remember is my throat being painfully dry and my hands getting sweaty. I remember trying to put all of my energy into trying to seem like I wasn't the horrible person that I am. After the speech, I go to the bathroom and throw up everything that I can. I hadn't eaten much, so it was mostly bile. I then shove my hand down my throat until I'm throwing up nothing but a few drops of blood. I'm just absolutely disgusted with myself. And I want to be in pain. I want to feel like how I deserve to feel. I get up off the floor and I clean myself up. And I go back out there. I never hated myself more than that funeral. I still hate myself. And I'm scared because the only times I haven't hated myself have been when I'm with you. And I'm scared that if you knew all of this, that you'd hate me too. And even if you didn't hate me, I was just thinking about us. We came together through tragic circumstance. We were just two people who happened to lose someone we love around the same time. We were each other's comfort when we needed it most. And I was worried that after some time, you wouldn't need that comfort anymore. And therefore, wouldn't need me. Once I realized how much I liked you, I couldn't stop thinking about how you'd feel if I said all of this. I don't think I'm worthy of feeling the way I do when I'm around you. And I'm scared that you'll think that too. I'm sorry for dumping all of this on you. I just hate myself for what happened. And I really don't want to lose you. I care about you. And I don't want to lie to people I care about.
You are more than your worst moment. I'm not here to judge you about what happened. but I appreciate you being honest. If we were all judged by our worst mistakes, then this world would seem like it's full of some awful people. But I know you, Elli, and you're as far from awful as they come. Taylor was lucky to have you in her life. I know that because I feel incredibly lucky to have you in mine. You are worthy of every good thing life has to offer. What's the point of living if you're going to deprive yourself of that because of one bad moment? I want you to know that you deserve happiness. And I know I'm not much of anything, but you definitely deserve everything I have to offer. I was also scared of losing you. I was worried that once the initial grief passed, you'd outgrow me. I think we can both be reassured that this isn't the case. I still like you. I still want you in my life.
I want you in my life too.